And I just got to get this out of the way as we get started. There are a lot of people on social media and different publications that are foo-fooing or poo-pooing, whatever the word is, saying let's not honor Mother's Day in church on Sundays. Let's kind of not talk about it. Just because of the fact that not all of us had a great mom. And there's some truth that not all moms are living up to their full potential. But that's no reason to not honor the amazing moms in our lives, or the ones we're coming after. And I'm not political in the sense that you know that. I have to say, it's burned in my memory during the inauguration, J.D. Vance's mom being there. I read Hillbilly Elegy probably 10 or 12 years ago, and J.D. Vance's mom was a struggling drug addict and a very absentee mom, and he was raised by his grandparents. It's a great book. I don't care if you like the guy or not. The book is amazing. Politics aside, people aside, it's a wonderful story of overcoming challenges. But the fact that he had his mom there at the graduation, at the inauguration, and how proud she was, and how, although I know he was disappointed with her in life, how much that he honors her and how a beautiful thing. So I can care less what people on social media or people in the news think about days like today. Just because not everything is perfect doesn't mean we can't perfectly honor the role of motherhood. And the fact of it is, we act like we don't believe in miracles anymore. Science, technology, advancements, we act like the age of miracles has passed, and we don't need miracles, and we don't believe in it. But miracles do happen. They still do happen. And we could talk about that for a very long time, about the different miracles. But one of the greatest miracles and gifts of God is motherhood. How God chose to bring us into existence could have been an assembly line, repetitive Adam experience, right? He takes the dust of the ground and he forms Adam. God could have done that over and over for all the billions of people in the world, but he didn't. He decided to choose women to bring humans into this world. Think about it. I know we have cell phones and smart TVs and self-driving cars and all this cool gadgets, but stop for 2 seconds and think about the miracle of a creature being created inside. See, I believe that women have been honored with bringing children into the world, because the way we men take care of ourselves, that baby is never made. Right? Honey buns for breakfast, Red Bulls for lunch, terrible sleep habits, right? Obviously God knew what he was doing. Right? But to think about that miracle, and biology aside, because think about it, not all moms are biological moms. We have women in our lives. Betty, I always call you mom. You're my favorite mom. I love you. Nancy, you're like a mom too. I've had, Kathleen Cooper, Beverly Heights. I've had wonderful women who have tried to, be surrogate moms in my life. So biology aside, think about the miracle. Think about, and I'll even go as far as use the word supernatural, because it's beyond the realm of nature, the care that moms put into those that they are mothers. It's not normal. It's not natural. It defies the concept of evolution, for example, right? Survival of the fittest. I want to make sure that I'm going to always eat. I'm always going to have whatever, right? To be able to stop and care, and to actually take time to nurture. It's not that I'm caring for you, providing the essentials, right? There's a roof over your head and food on your table, and that's all you need. No, it doesn't. It's not. I'm caring for your needs. I'm actually nurturing you. I'm actually developing something. I'm taking joy in that process, which is not a joyful process if you think about all the work and all the effort, all the time, and all the sacrifice and the concerns that mom have. I love my children. I love my grandchildren. But I don't have that motherly, nurturing, caring instinct. I don't. It's mothers who have something that's way beyond natural. You cannot explain it. You cannot explain that care through the means of regular, normal reality. It's beyond. It's supernatural. And if you can be honest with yourself, think of work, compensated work, not like household chores, but think of compensated work, or think of efforts that you do of volunteering in the community. Think about any area where you are exerting yourself, you say no to yourself, and I'm doing something for the good of others. If we'll be honest, most people are doing it for, expect it, or at least hope to get recognition. I want to be recognized, for this award or whatever. Right? So we're hoping for recognition. We're hoping for appreciation. We're hoping for affirmation. We're hoping for kudos, whatever you want to call it. But with all the effort and all that goes into motherhood, we'll be honest, it's pretty underappreciated in our culture. And it's often very thankless. And I know moms don't do it to be thanked, but the reality of it is it's often not thanked. And I can remember, and I've probably shared this story with some of you. Some of you don't know me as well as others. Maybe you haven't heard this story. But I was probably maybe 14 years old. Maybe. This is how old I am in life. 14. That's very young, but it's too long to have gone this far to learn this lesson. My mom grew up taking herself to the bus stop at kindergarten, doing her own laundry. Her parents were hardworking, never there, absent. And so she decided that when she raised my brother and I, that she would do everything for us. I mean, we were well into adulthood, and she'd still bend over and tie my brother's shoes. My mom, when Tammy met me, my mom would bring my dinner plate to me and cut my food up. My mom did not prepare me to be a good husband. I'm 14. My mom does everything for me. And we had some close friends whose mom was not so nurturing. In fact, I can remember a lot of times that mom yanking the coffee cord out of the coffee maker and just destroying those boys right before us. She was rough. One of the boys was over at the house with me. We're out playing. We're riding dirt bikes. We're having a good time. We come in and my mom made lunch for us. And that other boy says, "Thank you." I'm 14 years old. I'd never once thanked my mom for making a meal for me. And that lesson hit hard. I go, well, his mom wasn't very nurturing, and so yeah, he was appreciative. And I took it for granted. That's a long way of going around to say we take the moms for live and are granted. It's often thankless. It's not really acknowledged the way it should. And I'll go even further than the care, the nurturing, all of that moms bring to the table. And again, biology aside, it doesn't have to be the woman who birthed you, the moms in your life. Regardless of your circumstance, guys, be honest. Who is it that still sees the best in you? It's the moms. It's the moms in our life. No matter, and I'm not just talking about your potential. That they can see what's in you that no one else sees. But they see the best in you. And I'll go even further than that. The reality of it is, look, if I haven't made you mad or disappointed you or let you down yet, I will. That's just human nature. A lot of people let us down in life. Amen? We have expectations. People disappoint us. They frustrate us. They hurt our feelings. Moms never say that, though. Rarely. It's got to be right at the edge of the apocalypse before mom is going to say, you disappointed me. There is something in the caring, nurturing, loving, grace-abounding character of motherhood. They rarely ever express their disappointment. And I think that is very interesting. There's a pillar of motherhood that I think of three things of the pillar of motherhood that is so strong and is so powerful and is so impressive. And number one is influence. No one in your life has the amount of influence that mom can. And that could be for good or bad. Right? But there is such a strong role, responsibility, whatever, however you want to categorize it, that is entrusted to moms and its influence. Nobody's going to sing the alphabet song with you. No one's going to teach you to tie your shoes like mama. No one is going to have that lifelong influence on you. It carries through. It shapes something in our psyche. Our whole character is developed. So that first pillar is influence. Secondly is dedication. Let me think about it. For 8.5, 9 months, you're depleting her calcium supply. You're stealing her vitamins. She's bringing you to fruition, so to say. Right? That dedication starts well before birth. But then they're there. They're up with the baby when it's sick at night. They're making sure they're getting educated. Just think of that dedication. So they're influencing you. There's dedication. And then that last pillar, perhaps maybe the strongest and most incomprehensible one of it all, is the self-sacrifice. I was so naive as a parent. Now, we started as teenagers. I was so naive. I thought when they turned 18, we were done. Moms never stop being a mom. That self-sacrificial attitude. Betty, you're what, 49 now? Oh wait, I mean 94. 30. I love it. There we go, 30. Yeah. Have you stopped being a mom yet? Oh no. No, it never stops, does it? I thought when them boys turn 18, I'm going to live my best life. But I watched Tammy, and she's never stopped being a mom, so I guess it never ends, right? So they influence us. They're dedicated. They have self-sacrifice. And I'll tell you a mom story that is super interesting to me. There was a mom, grew up in a construction family. I guess her husband was a carpenter. And she raised this boy that was just exceptional. I mean, he was different than everyone else. But he ended up getting in trouble as he got older. He got on the wrong side of the religious leaders of the world. He had a different type of teaching than everybody else. And he did some stuff that blew everyone's mind, and eventually the religious leaders got tired of it, and they decided to kill him. You might know the story. It's Jesus of Nazareth. I don't know the story from the but I'll tell you what's interesting. For 3 years, Jesus has these rough and tumble, braggadocious fishermen, right? I mean, they're ready to pull out their swords and chop people's heads off. They're ready to fight. And when the rubber meets the road, except for John, they all abandon him. All the crowds abandon him. Everybody leaves Jesus except for his mom. I don't know if you've given it much thought, but on the day that Jesus is crucified, who is it that's closest to him? Now there's a twofold interesting process in this story. But standing by this but is in comparison to how they divided Jesus' clothes and how they're mocking him and how he's being mistreated. So it's a contrast word. But standing by it, not hiding in the shadows, not off in a distance, not watching from afar, standing at the cross of Jesus were his mother and his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene. It's women. They're brave. They're courageous. They're not worried about the opinions of the crowd. They're not worried about the Roman soldiers. They are right there by his side. And when Jesus saw his mother and the disciple who he loved, John, standing nearby, he said to his mother, "Woman, behold your son." This is. I've been your son. I'm tasked with taking care of you, caring for you, but I can't anymore. So now, this is your son. Then he said to the disciple, "Behold, your mother." And from that hour, that disciple took her into his own home. I find this story amazing. A caring mother being cared for. It's a beautiful story. You may not think of this as a Mother's Day story, but it encapsulates so much of care, of concern, dedication. Everybody's abandoned Jesus, not mine. So in general, on the whole, don't know if you think about this very much, mothers have the God-given privilege of shaping culture, of shaping civilization, of developing the future hearts and minds of the next generation like nobody else has. All the bringing them into the world, the one-on-one time, the time together, the guidance that moms have, that nurturing, developing heart that they have, the important role of imparting your sense of self as a person. There's no way around it. Moms have molded us for who we are, and moms mold the hearts and the minds of the future world. In fact, I will go even further to say, sermon or not, Christianity or not, Bible or not, I don't care what you think. From a religious perspective, a sociological perspective, a psychological perspective, whatever, it's indisputable, the backbone of any culture is a strong family. Cultures that devalue religion and family come back within so many years, less than 4 years, to realize, ooh, we're having a problem. We've got to strengthen our family somehow. Right? So the unifying force in the family is the mother. Dads don't plan vacations. Dads don't plan family get-togethers. Dads don't think about birthdays. Dads don't think about these things. We're like cavemen. We're dense. We're thinking about our next meal and our next nap. Right? But moms never stop thinking about this. Moms never give up. Moms never quit. And the unifying force in the family is the mom, and that's the strength of the world around us. I can't think of anything more valuable or more important for our culture, our civilization, the communities we live in, than that person of the family who cares and takes the time and makes those things happen. Maybe that's why Scripture has so much on honoring moms, on caring for moms, on the value of motherhood. Both Old Testament and New Testament. We could go on. I know you're hungry and you want to get some lunch, but we could go on. There's so many passages in the Bible where God or the disciples will use the metaphor or the analogy of a mom to make the point of the care and the strength and the dedication and the love. So let me wrap up with this. Here's what we can and here's what we should do as a culture, as a community, as a church, as believers. Pray more for our moms. They need the prayers, we need the practice. We should be more proactive. Why? Because her task is not easy. It's not something she's going to be able to do without the help of the good Lord above. I believe that. So we should pray more. Secondly, as husbands, as children, as people in the household, help out. Help carry some of that burden. And if you're saying, well, how? What can I do? Just ask. She'll tell you. Sometimes people won't say they want it. Abby, I see you laughing back there. Right? You might not ask for help, but if Jonathan says, what can I do to help? You'll have something, won't you? Like that. Scott, I see you nodding. Carla's not in the room. What do you want to say? Right? Just ask and she will tell you. And then I think, so pray, ask. Then I think as a church, we kind of have an obligation to the world around us to be part of the salt and the light. I think we need to have more honor and respect for moms. And I think it starts with the church, right? We teach our children to honor and respect motherhood, and then we do that in the communities around us. So, bless the moms in your life. The ones who brought you into this world and the ones who didn't, right? People who've stepped in to do this. Shape you, care about you, be concerned about you. And tonight, when you lay your head on your pillow and you thank the good Lord above for the mom who brought you into this world maybe, or the moms in your life, ask Him to bless them richly, deeply, and powerfully. All right, let's stand.